Sorry. Okay. Uh, knowledge. So basically, knowledge graph doesn't depend on Llama index. It's a independent concept, right? If you think about it, LLMs that are existing right now, they are developed by various companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, even for that matter, Google, Gemini. So there are many open source models are also popping up, right? They have a knowledge base of public data. They don't have any access of your data, personalized one, or your organization's data. So if you think about it, like how do you give your organization's data or your personal data uh, to the LLM so that it can have the knowledge in order to solve your queries or answer your queries, right? So that's like totally different from what Llama Index does. Uh, Memory is just knowledge base is just a concept. It can be implemented by any person or any library or any software basically, right? Uh, so just to give a gist about what knowledge graphs are, like how you create knowledge graphs and how you use it in order to make your systems faster, right? So knowledge graphs are nothing but they are uh, it's a graphical data structure where the nodes represents uh, important entities and the edges represents relationship between the entities, right? Just to give an example, let's say Tarun meets Pravalika, right? So in that statement, you can identify there are two entities, Tarun and Pravalika, right? And the verb called meets, right? So that is the relationship between the two entities in that particular statement. So you connect the two entities with the edge saying that okay, Tarun and Pravalika has met, right? So yeah, so that's how knowledge graph basically is being constructed, and it's not at all a new concept. Meta has been doing this for since like 20 to 25 years back. They've been implementing the graphical storage of their the whole of their yeah, correct. The whole data that they have, they are connecting and they are actually searching uh, the data used graph-based queries. Yeah, graph-based search basically. Yeah. So in the same way, we are like converting the data into knowledge graphs so that we get better quality of data in your search results. Right. So what happens? You have an LLM call that is being made, and before the call, what you do is you take the query given by the user, you do a semantic search on the graph-based data structure, and probably the depending on your architecture and depending on your conversion efficiency, you get better results from the graph-based data structure, and and yeah, you append the results into the context that you're sending it to the LLM, so that it gets a vague idea what's happening before the query is being asked to the LLM, and that's how it can answer your personalized queries. Correct. What can the LLM? How can the LLM solve your query? Yeah. Yes. 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 Correct. Hmm. Definitely. So, like context enrichment, that's what we are doing. See, knowledge graphs are different than MCP in respective. Graphical structure is being created, right? There's a dynamic data and there is a static data, right? So both can be stored in a graphical format. Okay, so that's the data that is getting generated. So MCP is a different concept where you are asking a third party service for a for a service or for any of your requirements, and it is going to respond based on the business logic that they have created. MCP, yeah, you can do the context enrichment for an LLM using MCP. So that LLM knows what kind of service that it can get by calling this particular uh, uh, this particular API, right? So yeah, see everything. See, even the API, what does the API do? It does some kind of transformation. It stores the data. It retrieves the data, right? So it's a effective data management and data transformation layer, right? The same way we are doing the knowledge graphs like that. We are transforming the data into some format so that we do the better search. So there is no business logic here. What your architecture that you use, that's the business logic. There is a business logic in the API, right? So at the bot, I mean, like at the end, we are simply doing the context enrichment. So both the actions are similar, the outputs are similar, but the way you are handling the data is different. Yeah. చెప్పవే రే yeah. So okay, so there is a nuance with the knowledge graphs, right? So just imagine you have like million entities, all right? So if you want to add another 1 million entities, what is the complexity of creating a knowledge graph? Like you're appending, you have to completely break down the existing knowledge graph and form new relationships, form update each and every node edges, right? It's a very complex task. Like for a it's not O of n or O of one, right? It's a complexity of n power. I think O of n square, I guess, right? So it's not at all a scalable thing. Like if you are looking for a very limited data, like your personal data, I think it in 1 TB, 2 TB, I think you can create a knowledge graph. But just imagine for an organization, if you have to create a huge knowledge graph, if you have to convert the data into a knowledge graph, it's not at all lucrative. The cost will be very high. So in that case, what we do is we do normal document chunking, and we store the chunks in a way where uh, we do a plain and simple, where we can do a plain and simple rank. Uh, so basically, what do I mean by that? Just imagine there is a document, uh, right? You can break the document into small pieces. Uh, Assume that you are breaking that into small pieces by there should be some logic, right? How you are breaking the document, right? Either you can break it uh, one page each, like you can take one page as one chunk, or you can break it via paragraphs, right? So it depends on your how your data in the document is. Let's say if you are writing a story, I don't think I feel like one paragraph should contain enough context. Uh, like all the context should be in one paragraph, so that even if you break it also, when you are doing the semantic search, you have most of the context that is present in that one particular paragraph. If you do it one page, right? Like yeah, there will be